Hello.
Hello.
Girl, this thing was definitely not gonna let me join.
Hello.
Hello.
Smelia beat you here for once.
Wow.
In your face.
Not you coming in on here on time.
Madam, you know what? I can read you right now.
I cannot. And we're not. And welcome back to another episode of It's an Okay Podcast. And welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
Because I literally can get dragged right now.
Oh man. We love each other. It's all out of love. A love dragging. A dragging with love.
I'm just gonna say these girls need to work.
I have great advice for women in business. Get off your ass and
work. Kimberly Noel, Kardashian, T.P. West. How fucking dare you, bitch?
Oh man. Oh Lord. Welcome back to episode. I never know what episode we're on.
We never
honestly.
know, but it's fine.
I try to guess every single time.
It's fine.
Like, girl, you don't know. Give it up, delicious. Welcome back, guys.
Like Beyonce.
Beyonce. You look like Luther Vandross.
Oh my god.
But today we're talking about breakups. Dun dun dun. I'm gonna be my own sound. I'm my own sound. And so we're manifesting a sound, a person who will edit these episodes for us. But today we're talking about breakups, you know, how you handle them, what's the best way to do it, what's your best breakup, worst breakup. We're going to talk about it all, you guys. So tap in. But first we're going to do a check-in. How's everybody's day? Samilia. My good sis. Like, can I just say something? Samilia is an incredible friend. Elizabeth, you are as well. I know you don't need that, but I just want to let you know that you're going to get yours soon. So strap in for emotion.
Hold on. One thing about me, girl, you give the accolades to the person that you giving them to. You don't, because guess what? I am secure.
No, I know you are, but I was just telling you to get ready for the influx of emotion that's coming when I'm done with Samilia. It was a fair warning. Samilia drove here last night to see me perform, and like, it meant a lot to me. I'm not going to cry, but it meant a lot to me that she did that. And then she drove home at a crazy hour and just had a day. Like, Samalia's had a whirlwind weekend, if I say so myself. Like, I'll let you tell it because it's your business, but I just have to say that I really appreciate you doing that. And Beth came to my show as well last night, and I love her. But when it's my turn, I'm a talk when it's my turn. So you guys go. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I'm super tired, but I was so worth it, so worth the exhaustion. Yeah, Corey had a concert, and it was chef's kiss, and I know all the words to all the songs.
You do. Mom pointed that
out.
Yeah. Mom was like, Samilia and Beth know every word to your song. I'm like, they do.
And every word.
They don't
every
let
part.
me forget them. They don't let me forget the words. They've been doing this since we were children. Samilia and Beth would pop in my room and be like, "Hey, Luke." I'm like, "Can you stop? Can you actually quit it?"
Oh, throwback. That's one of my favorite.
The
jams,
original
man.
jam.
The original jam. Before Ego, there was Hey Luke.
There was.
That's like one of those, like, now. That's what I call now.
Yeah. From the singer-songwriter that brought you My World.
Oh man. Maybe it can be in like one of those like cheesy Netflix like teenage love stories.
Yeah,
where they have like a lead guy named Luke. I feel like it'd be a great song for that.
What is that? All the girls to all the boys.
Yeah, I like something like a movie like that.
Girl, you should have sold that song to those freaking those record labels that would reach out to you, be like, "Yeah, I got a perfect song for you."
Honestly, listen, if anybody's out there listening, I got a perfect song for you.
Oh gosh,
it's not too late. It's never too late. Never too late.
Yeah, I had a great weekend, and I made it back to church on time. I was in the production booth, so.
My girl's an audio engineer.
Sure.
Love to see it. I mean, but that's essentially what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was Ryan Safdie's muse. I got jams.
I got jams. anything for you guys. You know that.
Yeah, I
She
seriously
literally
appreciate that.
I just maybe I need to start calling her and cry more because like she really drove down here when you record, but she's like, Corey needs a hug, so I'm gonna drive 3 hours to come
No, seriously, you don't even know what I was experiencing. Like, I'm very
outer body.
grateful that Similia drove down here because
She
it
was
was not.
legitimately scaring me. I'm like, please don't say that. Like, and I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. I literally
Yeah,
had to ask her like 3 or 4 times to stop saying something.
yeah.
I'm like, you know
I be
what?
getting stressed, y'all.
Yes, you do. You do. You
Very,
do.
very. I want to say though, I was very stressed today. Like, I got a phone call today. It was just like, how do you feel like now that you had a moment to like rest? I'm like, oh no, I have not had a moment to rest. I actually have not had a moment to rest. Actually, I still have a lot of stuff that I have to do today. A lot of stuff has to get done. There's a lot of planning and like just a lot of just a lot. It was a lot. And like, I just think it's so funny because Similia, like anytime I'd be bored, I'd be like, I'm so bored. Somebody would be like, Corinne, you should enjoy this moment of rest. And I'm like, but I'm bored. And like, and it's moments like this where I'm like, this is why Similia be like, enjoy your rest.
Girl.
Because when like, I was so upset that I was just so bored. And now I'm like, I don't have a moment to like process.
Yeah.
But I'll get my moment, obviously. But no, I mean, and I don't begrudge what I'm doing. Like, I love every bit of the work that I'm doing. Like, I love that I get to sing. I love that I get to do a podcast with my sisters. So it's like, I'm good. But yeah, I handled my stress really well this past weekend. And I'm really like, I have to give myself a pat on the back because so many things are going wrong. And this is what I'll share about my weekend is that, so like, just like tiny things like going awry. But it just felt very like, it felt like things were being, you know that S Club 7 song? Don't you know it's true what they say? Things are sent to try you. Like, things are being sent to try me.
Not S Club 7. That's
Things are most definitely sent to try you. And
yeah.
I was just like, I did a really deep meditation and prayer like the night before and the day of when I woke up. Just like, I was so excited, but I just was like, God, just like, please be with me today, like, please order my steps and like be with me through the day. And I really felt like, yeah, it was like just a lot. But one of the big things that kind of went wrong was the equipment. Like, that was the whole production equipment. Randomly, right? Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's touching anything. It's not like no one is doing anything. The table collapses and it all just slides off the table and comes crashing onto the ground.
It didn't slide, girl. It jumped. It jumped off the
I'm
table.
telling you guys, there was
dramatic.
something going on. There's something wrong with my line. When I call my baby number, I get a click every time. Like, if there was something going on, okay? And yeah, it just slid off the table. And I, like, in my head, like, I could tell in my head and also in the band's head, we were like, well, like, I could just sense that we were just like, in my head, I start like planning. I'm like, well, I hope maybe we could get another day to come in. Like, I just start making all these plans.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just in my head, I'm like calculating the numbers. And by the grace of God only, none of it was broke. I could have sworn I saw the screen cracked. None of it was broken. They got it back on the table.
And it worked.
And it worked perfectly.
The only snafu was like the mic and like, but they needed to open the channel.
Yeah. And
that wasn't even an issue.
And all I did was just like, my mic's not working. Like, just let's rotate, do that again.
They had the channel closed. That's why.
Yeah. Like, I guess he didn't see it when it had, like all shifted. Turned off. And that was because my mic wasn't on the stage. I brought my mic to the stage.
Yeah. So they told you that it was already on.
Yeah, they did. But it's fine. Like, I'm just like, turn it on. Like, I'm not gonna be like, y'all better get that girl out of there.
No, you are a consummate professional because
literally
every like little snafu, you just rolled with it.
I was like,
it was very nice of her.
Nothing was ruining that
mic. I would have thrown the mic. The wig would have got ripped off. Like, all that. It would have been very, very unprofessional. And I can admit that because, like, I'm a woman of strength, Like, I can say, let you know right now. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm crying.
You're fucking ruining my show. Whatever.
Oh,
And then I would have got
man.
back on stage and buried hell. Like, all right, thanks, guys. And we're gonna start from the fucking top.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my god, no, I'm literally like,
Because you can see it.
pain.
That's
I
why
could
you're
1000% see it. I really could.
I was getting, because like, here's the thing though, because like, even from start to finish, like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't mean to cut you off. Come tell you about
No,
my.
you're fine. You're fine.
From start to finish, like, they were like, oh, you got to go get a negative COVID test. So I was running around town trying to get a COVID test, and I got Corey to get me hers. So I took a test.
her testing kit, not her negative test.
No,
Like,
a test.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Just
So
to
I get
clarify.
there. I get
just
there.
to clarify.
I get there, y'all. First of all, I had to fight 2 parking lots to find a space.
Yeah.
And fucking fight 2 parking lots to find a space. Get there. I shit you not. I'm running up the steps. The box office closes at 8. I get into the building at 8:04, and the woman looks at me like she was not gonna let me go in.
Did you say that's my sister?
I said, I had to go. I said, I just fought 2 parking lots. I had to go find a negative test or a test so that I could give you a negative result. And my sister is performing. And they were like, man, we're just trying to make sure. And I said, no, I can't deal with this right now. I need to know if I'm going to be able to go in.
Yeah, I'm really happy they let you in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the box office. Thank you for letting my sister in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, because I was telling you, literally, y'all better get that girl out of there.
Oh, Lord. I'm glad that you were able to come in. That really makes me happy. I'm happy that it worked out.
Yeah, because, you know.
And Beth's funny video, because I could get real disrespectful. It's funniest video on the internet. I feel like we should post it on our It's Okay podcast page so you guys can see it, because I really genuinely think it's the most hilarious video. But okay, so getting into our breakups. So first we're going to talk about how we handle breakups, because I don't think breakups are not an easy thing to, I mean, they might be, but I do think that like everybody needs a little time, you know? So
yeah.
Bethy, we can start with you because I know you're excited.
I think I just need to go to therapy at this point, because
always an advocate for therapy, always.
Yeah. I would like, so I can just like, Mr. Rage. I have a problem. Well, like how I handle breakups right now is I think I'm actually doing a lot better. Although I don't really think I've gotten any, I don't think I've grown. And I will say I don't think I've grown. I think it's just manifested in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, remember my first breakup with Mikey, and I like tried to burn.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking
his sweaters.
You had to hide the scissors. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to take scissors to his sweaters and throw them in the fire pit, and then
would have burned the whole house down over a boy who scratches his balls. But
it's giving very Lisa Left Eye. It's Lopez.
Yeah, I would have walked away with a smile. You know what I mean? So like. So you guys tackled me and hid his shit until Monday until I had to give it back to him. But then
I remember that.
Going for like, then I had that one boyfriend that cheated on me, and then like he blew my phone up for months, and I just never answered the phone. I was just like, whatever, bro, like you're trash.
Yeah.
And the one in college where I had to physically just like shut him out of my mind, because this is what I'm getting. And I feel like everything that I've been through has led to this very moment that I'm going through right now, because literally almost said his name. Oosh, God, Jesus. Literally when he would bring the girl to my gym, and it was like, this man would drive 30 minutes out of his way to bring this hoodlum to my gym.
Oh no,
not the hoodlum.
This hood rat.
This Shrek Jr.
This chicken head.
Don't talk about my man Shrek. Do not talk about my man Shrek. Find somebody else, because my man Shrek.
The freaking gym.
Don't talk about my man. Okay, go ahead.
And parade her around. Mind you, they live 30 minutes away from this gym, and they had a gym at his apartment complex that was a full gym. So it's just like, you're doing this for
you're
what?
Going out of your way.
Yeah.
Right. You're doing the most. And I just feel like now somebody is trying to do the exact same thing, where they bring their freaking lemming, who never was going to this gym in the last, I don't know how many years since I've been going to this gym. Now all of a sudden they want to bring their concubine around.
Beth, come on.
Relax.
Those dead ass. Beth, I love you.
They're bringing their gay
Relax
around the gym. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious? So now I kind of feel like I have to switch gyms. But I think how I'm handling it is just taking it one day at a time, of not trying to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes like we like that just kind of struck something in me, how you said like this has happened to you before. but I feel like you almost have a chance to do it differently.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, last time I just ignored him, and I feel like is this basically telling? Because I did have regrets about ignoring my ex instead of just like going to him and like being vulnerable and being like, really. But I just felt like that's giving the other person so much power to like go to them, and then instead of just being like, you know what, I'm better than this.
Yeah.
So it's like, am I learning this lesson because I'm supposed to put my pride aside and go and talk to them and be like, it hurts my feelings that you're doing this. I don't feel like I should allow anyone to have that much power over me. Like me going to you and telling you you're hurting me makes me feel like I'm giving you a one up, because then now you know that you're actually doing something against me versus like you not knowing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I am always an advocate of, or most of the time, an advocate of sharing your feelings. Like if it's someone who like you had like a emotional connection with, like, and you're like, hey, look, this bothers me. If they're someone who cares about you, then they'll care. But if they don't care about you, they won't care. But I don't think you share I try not to. I share my feelings because I want to share my feelings regardless of how you take them.
Right.
I know that I honored my own feelings and said, hey, like it hurts me that you're doing this, or it's bothersome to me that you're doing this. Is there a reason? And almost like putting sunlight on the things that they're trying to do and to be covert about. Like, what's the reason why you're doing this? Because this person has never come here, and you literally, I won't say that, I won't, put the business out there, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. This makes no sense. Can you help me understand where you're coming from? And then if that person like lies, or you just don't, feel like what they're saying is true, at least you honored yourself and how you felt. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean it's a really good take on it, because I feel like I really don't sometimes, like with breakups and stuff, I do not honor most of the time like how I actually feel, because I'm just kind of like, I mean, obviously I'm very, very good at hiding how I actually feel to people, because I'm like,
yeah,
oh, you are not about to get a one up on me. I will.
Well, yeah, it's like a protective thing though. You're protecting yourself.
Yeah. Let you think that it's peachy keen and grapes over here, but low key, like, it was just funny because the other day on Tuesday, the guy, I ran into him. He was like, oh, I'm not talking to anyone, blah, blah, blah. And then today, obviously, I've seen other things that have proven, I've been told other things by other people that have seen it firsthand, that he is talking to someone else. But it was just funny that Tuesday, they came to me and said, oh, I'm not talking to anybody else. But then today I see them with that person. And it's just like, you think I'm stupid. You think I'm stupid, don't you? And so for me, it's just like, one of the things he said on Tuesday, he was like, oh, I trust you. And I looked at him and I said, don't trust me.
Okay.
And that's real, because for me, if you do some fucked up shit to me and I do not react, do not trust me. Do not trust me.
Oh no.
Because if I go ape shit and cry, there's a chance we can fix this.
Yeah.
But if you do some fucked up shit to me and it hurts me to the point where I shut down and I don't do nothing to you, you just think that I'm over it. Oh no. Oh hell no. I am plotting your downfall.
Oh no.
That's so hilarious. It's scary.
Oh no.
Yeah. So,
well,
yeah.
We see how Beth handles breakups. How do you handle
breakups? So when I was young,
anyone,
like in high school, like especially when I was like new to dating, so like the early on in high school, like when I would have breakups, I would be so emotional about it, right? Like super emotional about it, even up until like my first like college relationship. I was like very emotional about it, because you would find out something and it's like dramatic. It's sort of like, oh
yeah,
gosh.
feels like the world stops.
Yeah, that feels like the world is. Well, I mean, and some of the stuff would be really messed up. Like, how you've been lying to me.
Yeah,
like we've synced up our schedules, and in college, that was like you're picking me up from my classes. Like you have like, so it felt like this like deep betrayal, you know. And I think like that was like me before, so super emotional with with breakups. And then like I had like my, like, I would say my college sweetheart. I don't know if I would call him my college sweetheart, but my longest relationship in college, that lasted from college into the beginning of grad school. Like, I feel like by the time I got to the end, I was like, I was just like, okay. So when like things were coming out, I was just collecting data. Like, let me just collect data, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Beth was saying this similar, so I guess we're kind of
No,
similar in
yeah,
this
I was
way.
just thinking about this. I was like, Beth would literally do this.
I'm like, okay, and so, like, you've given me, I have all your passwords. You've taught me how to recover deleted emails, and so, okay, like something's
What a
not right.
dummy.
But yeah, well, I mean, because he probably, when he was in the beginning, he wasn't thinking he was going to cheat,
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, I didn't mean to put his business out there, but yeah, like
That's your business too. It affected you
it
as
is,
well.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
But so like for me, it was like, okay, well, I now that I've collected this data, and I'm already kind of feeling like we're growing in two separate directions. I can, let you go in love and not like feel the need to, like yell and cry and scream. Was I hurt? Like, you're still hurt, because it's like, okay, this is someone that I thought I was gonna be with for a long time. And then I would say, and now like my breakups, like when the relationship officially ends, or when, I don't know, I feel like I know when relationships end to me, but that doesn't always coincide with when the breakup is. so so when the relationships end, I think, like, even though we haven't officially broken up, that tends to be more dramatic. But by the time we break up, I feel like I'm typically in a calm place where I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
See you later, kid.
See you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Uh,
After never heifer.
but like my most recent breakup was pleasant.
Yeah, so
As pleasant as a breakup can be. Yeah.
I was actually gonna say, because I feel like there's a difference between like if you're like the kind of breakup, right? Because there are like breakups of any kind, like friendship breakups, like job breakups, just environment breakups, relationship breakups. Like there's breakups of every kind. I feel like just parting ways, and I feel like there's a difference between like you breaking up, the person breaking up, and then it kind of just being like a mutual understanding that it needs to happen. And
Yeah.
it's very much, the energy is very much just like, it's not you, it's not me, it's just not right. And
Yeah.
I owe it more to myself to just, and owe it to you, like I feel like mostly myself, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I owe it to you and just to the universe to like never be in a space where I don't feel like I am like giving my best foot. And so I feel like if I'm not, like, I'm more likely to just like cut it off,
Yeah.
because it's just like I don't want to do that to myself, and I don't want to do that to you. I just feel like that's just such a waste of time. I could be happy. You could be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of shit. So I just feel like in life, I'm just like, no, I think I just want to be happy, and
Yeah.
I just want to have a good freaking time. Like that's really what I want to do, and I want everybody else to have a good time. Like so many people just, I'm not gonna keep talking about my show, but so many people were like, oh, I feel so confident, like my guitarist, she doesn't usually play electric guitar, and she was just talking about how like she felt like she really just like she felt so good about herself on stage, and my keyboardist was saying the same. And like to me, when someone's like, your energy makes me happy, like
Yeah.
your energy makes me feel like I can be what I wanted to be, I'm like, oh yes, embrace, treat this well, like do right by this. Like, but when people are like, your energy makes me feel like I'm not good enough, like,
girl, my energy don't gotta do shit with that. That's on you, bitch. You need to worry about your stuff. That's what I would tell somebody like
Like,
that.
you're
Like,
projecting. Why are you projecting
yeah,
on me?
but
No.
I'm not like, I used to be such a people pleaser. Like when I was in situations where, in relationships or whatever, like in romantic relationships, platonic ones, either ones, I would just be like, but now I'm to a point where I'm like, nope, sorry, nope. Like, no. Like, and I might not handle it well, you know what I mean? But I saw this tweet that was like, I be cutting people off silently. Oh, I don't fuck with you no more. I forgot to tell you. Like, that's really my energy. Like, oh, did I forget to tell you? Yeah,
No,
I'll fuck with you.
That's me as fuck, because literally it's not a relationship breakup, but I just had one with a friend and I'll save it for after Samonia goes. But I really just was like, a word? Peppa Pig. Radio silence.
Yeah, I try to give people like I think I'm a lot more gracious in friendships than I am in like platonic friendships than I am in like romantic relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
So like in platonic friendships, like I had one friend, we were best friends from like when we were in like elementary school. And it just got to this place where like we cannot, this is not a healthy friendship. And
Yeah.
even then I'm like, hey, do you want to like if there's a problem that you have with me, like I would rather us talk about it because I don't want to lose our friendship.
Right.
So like kind of the best point earlier, what I was saying earlier is that like for me, I'm like I want to know that when I walk away from this, I did everything that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you decided to be a jerk, if you try like if I'm vulnerable with you and you take my vulnerability and you're crappy with it, that's you're putting that energy into the world, not me.
Yeah.
I'm leading with love. And if you decide to like, be a jerk about it, then I don't have to feel no ways about it. I'm like,
Right.
well, I mean, I did what I thought was the right thing to do. And I acknowledged the areas where I could grow. And if you don't want to acknowledge where you could grow, then how do we move forward? Because it's not just one person.
Right.
So like for me, when it comes to friends, I'm just like, I will give you a lot of chances. I will, if you tell me that I've that done something to harm you, I try really hard to like, understand where you're coming from.
And yeah, rectify it in the
Yeah,
best
and like,
way.
yeah, remedy it. And if you can't accept that, if you don't want to move forward, which sometimes that's the answer, right? Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like there's no
I
way to
can't get
be
past this. Yeah. I
right.
need time to like forgive this. And you have to just let people have their time.
Right.
Like you
But wait,
can't
go ahead. You can't
I
what?
was just gonna no, like you can't really like do anything about it if people are just like, I need my time and my space. Like I think yeah, give them like a good amount of time and space, and then like you don't. It's not to say you have to go away forever, but I feel like time and space is definitely important. If someone needs that, just like okay, well, I'm here when you want to share.
But I agree. And I also think that some people don't want to acknowledge their own stuff. And so in those situations, I can give you all the time and space you want. But if you don't want to look introspectively, I can't, that's not
Oh,
going
for
to
sure.
change. But
Right.
I genuinely feel like for most people in my life, if I've ever called you a friend, then I will always be here. If you needed something and you called me and I was able to do it, I would.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, oh, you're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
I'm realizing that
Your
we're so
obsessions
much
let me
different.
know.
We're so different than other people, because I am the exact same way, where it's like I will bend over backwards for anybody. Like it doesn't even matter. Like I've had people that treated me like shit, that deserve to get their wig split, but I still would bend over backwards for them in the interim of the time that I was their friend.
Yeah.
It was like, you don't deserve this, but because it's not about whether or not you deserve this and whether or not I can do this. That's why it's like I would still do it even if I knew that people didn't deserve it. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it has my willingness to give has nothing to do with your shitty ass attitude.
Yeah.
Now your shitty ass attitude is going to run you up a creek where I'm about to take all this shit back.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing this based on that. I'm doing it based on my willingness to give. And
Right.
eventually my willingness to give, that well does run dry. And I'm like, you know what, bitch? Tsunami.
I can't deal. Well, okay, so I just want to say, because I never said how I handle breakups. I said how I handle like friendship ones, because they're all different. I just want to say how I handle romantic ones is like not very well. Like my feelings, my feelings do. So I am Simone Biles in my feelings, girl. I'm creating new kinds of flips. I'm jumping new kinds of hoops. They naming emotions after me. That's how much emotions I have.
Oh, she in her Corey right now.
That is my emotions are my bag. Okay. But yeah, I feel like yeah, I do so much crying. I'm not afraid to. I just mourn the loss of it. You know what like I mourn what I wanted it to be, and I move on. Like it is sad. Like there are so many good like so many good platonic friendships that I had, or ones that I thought were good. And like, I've only had one serious relationship, and it was good. You know, I try to really like feel good when I'm in the vicinity of people. So when it comes to a point where I realize like this might not be good for me, it's actually it's very sad for me, because it's like, damn, like, you know, like there's a lot of stuff that is just bigger than us. Mm-hmm. And so you have to just like, you know, thank you. You just have to be like thankful for the time and the like the goodness that those things did give to you. And yeah, I cry. I do a lot of crying. It's a lot of emotions for me in a breakup. Like I can't even
really.
Like today, like I'm like, oh, you know what had to happen, you know? But ask me in maybe 2 weeks and I'll be like, yeah, what a bitch. even though my ex is not a bitch. I mean, like, you know, we all have our moments, but I don't feel that way about my ex.
All my exes are bitches. Y'all are all bitches.
Salud.
If you're listening, pussy ass bitches. Every last single one of you. Come book bag with me, bitch. Bye.
Salute. I'm cheersing to that one. I'm cheersing you, Beth. I got you.
Oh my gosh.
Here. No, but yeah. No, I feel like I'm not. Okay, so let's talk about, because you guys are very big social media people. I feel like I live more of my personal innards on social media. And so like somebody who's really, really just like, you know, been really big in the social media is Kanye West. And you know, he has not handled his breakup well.
Not handling the breakup well at all.
Yeah.
I think he's doing great. Marvelous.
He's doing spectacular. The music video, it was yeah, so I was actually explaining this today. Like, I share my feelings online when I don't feel like I have a strong, like, I feel like people share their feelings online to be validated. Like, they want someone to be like, your feelings in this matter. And, but like, I feel like you also have to talk to people who really are just willing to get at the core of what the issue is. And like, that's the thing I've seen, like Kanye tweet, like I've seen him being like, there are people in my corner who have talked to me and I just want to apologize. I'm like, God bless whoever those people are, because you really just need people to like hear you. Because I feel like when you're making a scene like that, when you're like really screaming, like doing that, it's like you just want to be heard. And you feel like you're not being heard in your situation. And like, yeah, I am someone, like, if I feel like I have not been heard, I want to formally take this time to apologize to every person who saw my tweets when I had a broken heart. Because I be going off, but it's so I don't go off on them. Like, I actually tweeted the other day. It was like, if you saw my tweets when my heart was broken, my bad. You shouldn't have done that. Because like I really just like, I know that when something happens, and you know those scenes in movies where like something happens, someone's like punching the air and they're just like, yeah! Like, and then like the person turns around and like catches them and they're like casual.
Like, or like Meredith Blake.
No, I think she freaks out in front of his face. But there's like when someone turns around and you start freaking out, like punching the air when something happens, like you make a fool of yourself, you start like punching the air, and they turn back around and you're just like, you're casually like, you know, I was not punching the air. That is me on like, I have now privated my socials for the reason that like it is a place for me to safely feel like I can share my feelings. And like, I don't have a lot of people on that one. Like, it's just people that I've met in real life, or like people who followed me before I've privated the account.
It's funny because I'm literally looking at this stuff that's going on with Kanye and Pete Davidson right now. And D.L. Hughley just was like, weird that Kanye West supposedly has all these goons who are going to kill for him, but like not one of them will go get his prescriptions filled. Oh! Here's the thought.
Wow.
Here's the thought. While you're on your way to killing Calabasas, how about somebody drop him by CVS, pick up his Xanax, okay?
And you know what, though? He's not wrong. I can't say that he's wrong. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, whoever's near him talking to him, that's the kind of people you need to have in your corner. The people who are like, I want you to do better for yourself.
Right.
You know, like, I want you to be
you're actually
supported.
Self-destructing right now.
It's not hurting anyone but you.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that because I used to do a lot of like yelling in the void on my Twitter. It was a lot of yelling in the void and not really like actually going inward. I've had to delete my Twitter like a few times for like a month so that I could like actually process the way I was feeling about stuff instead of just running to Twitter to yell in the void.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's a huge, just like cyber void.
I don't know. Maybe I need to work on this, and maybe this is what this karmic lesson keeps continually teaching me. But like, I've just never been one to. I'm very selective with how I like, because I have to think through my emotions. Like the other day, I got pissed at someone, and I knew that I'm like you guys said. I'm realizing I actually am very good at vocalizing what I'm upset about, because I knew that I was upset about what I had found out, but she was saying some disrespectful ass shit, and I just looked at her and I go, I am upset about this, and I'm trying not to take out my frustrations about that on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to bid you adieu. And I just feel like maybe I've never had the feeling like Kanye to like, because he's texting Pete and then taking screenshots and then reposting them online for like clout. And it's like, Kanye, this makes you look terrible. Like, I get it. Maybe you're screaming into the void, but like, Pete's winning right now in my eyes, because the dude has actually spared you. Like, if somebody was constantly like coming at me on social media and I'm not reacting, and then if I finally like start throwing clapbacks that are like, oh, these are disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think like he's in it, right? So it's not like from the outside looking in, I think it's easy to be like, Kanye, you look dumb. But for him, it's like he doesn't know what emotion he feels. And I think that's why it's important to surround yourself with people, because he probably is experiencing something in psychosis and needs like to actually be taken care of.
Or he just needs to cry. Because like the other day, I can't tell you how good it felt to like, I think with me, one of the things that I have gotten really, really good at, which I need to stop doing, is like, because at one point, I think I realized that it was like, oh my God, I need to talk to somebody. Yeah. Because like, granted, I talk to you guys too, but I just need to like, sometimes I feel like I can't vent to you guys every single day about the same thing. It's like, you got to say it to somebody else one time. And then
fine. I understand what you mean.
So literally I went to dinner with my friend, and I didn't even realize that I had been suppressing the emotions that I had felt that entire week to get me through the week. So I was basically waking up, going to sleep, 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 running through the motions, not realizing that I was severely upset.
Yeah.
And then when I finally just was talking to her, I was like, oh my God, now I know how I actually feel, because I didn't know that I was numb for the last 5 days. It took me until we went to dinner that I was like, oh shit, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
But it's also nice that you have a friend that created a safe space for you to be able to, let go enough to process your emotions.
For sure. Yeah. Shout out to the good friends. Shout out to them people. People.
Not ethnic. Well, not really.
oh wow.
Okay, moving right along.
Yeah, so I want to know, you guys, what is your best, I mean, this is such a weird question, but let's throw it in there. Let's get a little saucy. What's your best breakup and your worst breakup? Who wants to go first? Not me. Not I.
My worst breakup was the one that would drive 30 minutes to bring his hoodlum.
She's just so I can't deal with her. Continue.
I mean, I could name drop.
No,
but
that's okay. That's okay. Thank you, though.
He would bring his
redacted.
Yeah, redacted. He'd bring his banshee. And that was the worst one. And I would say that even though I might be struggling right now, I'm not struggling as bad as I used to struggle with the bad ones. So I think this one is my good one, because I had to call that person and be like, because I don't know if you guys know about divine timing and divine masculines and feminines and twin flames and all that stuff. It's out there. But this person to me feels like a twin flame connection.
Like he was the connection was meant to teach you a lesson.
Right. Not necessarily. Sometimes
it could be a cosmic connection.
Yeah. Sometimes
a karmic connection. That's what it's called.
Some karmic connections typically teach you a lesson. But like, this felt more like twin flame because we were not sexual in any way, but the connection, like even to this day, the connection is still there, and we haven't talked.
It's like a heart connection.
Yeah, it's a heart connection.
Oh, are you talking about the most recent one or the banshee?
The most recent one.
Okay.
I'm talking about the most recent. The most recent one was like, I had to call that person and be like, because like sometimes your divine your twin flames, they're not always where you are. They have to go through things too to get to the level. So maybe right now you guys aren't supposed to be together, but that doesn't mean down the line things can't happen and work out. If you know that and you understand that, which I've learned with my last relationship, the karmic lesson, then I have to walk away. So this one was hard, but it was easier because first, it was the first time in my life, you guys, that I was able to call somebody on the phone, as sad as it was, and be like, I love you, but I don't feel at this moment in time you're going to be able to give me what I need, and I have to release you.
You couldn't give me. I'm playing.
And that's why I said I literally felt your song last night. I was like, damn, girl, is this me? Is this the universe talking? But yeah, so I had to release them because, like, if you love something, you have to set it free.
1000%.
Yeah.
So it's like, man,
I'm proud of you, Bethy.
I'm proud of myself too. I'm like, wow, maybe it is growth.
It is.
It's definitely growth.
It is for sure.
What was that? With your best or your worst?
That's my best. My worst was the banshee.
Okay.
Samelia?
My best was my most recent boo. Because it was just super, like, it was hard. I think breakups are hard because if you love someone, you want to do good for them. You want good for them. But I think, realizing, like, okay, we just have different paths, and like I can love you and acknowledge that we have different paths and say this is not going to be what's best for us in the long run. So that was the best one. And worst, okay. So worst to me, it's like my worst reaction in a breakup. Or like actual worst breakup. I'm gonna go with my worst reaction because my worst breakup I don't think I should be speaking about on a podcast form. However,
at least not in this episode. No, I'm just kidding.
Not in this teaser. Check us out in season 16.
Exactly.
What really happened?
Get the scoop.
The girls tell all. No. I think my worst reaction. The guy that we were like seeing each other. We weren't like we didn't have titles. In my freshman year of college. Yeah. Before situationships were a thing, or I knew
what they were. Yeah.
What they were. That was the worst. Because I was just like, oh my gosh, people are like this? Like, ew.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I didn't handle it well.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
What about you, Corinne? So I'm gonna do that every single time. I don't even care.
No, you literally are. I think it's like a thing now. I'm just gonna wait for you to ask.
Yeah, I most certainly will. Don't worry. So my best breakup is, I would say, it's like my only actual like relationship that I had. I think it's just so much. I had so much love for that relationship, and there were just so many things in the relationship I couldn't give, and vice versa. And I just was like, I can't. I want you to have this because I just feel like you deserve it so much. So let's just like, better if we break. But yeah, that's probably my best. I think my worst, even though I still like flip flop like a flounder, like with my emotions in that. I think it was handled really, really well. And I think my worst was my situationship. God, I don't know if I want to admit this. I said it on my TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. But I called the person a number of times that could be incriminating. I don't know. It could be really considered as, I called someone a lot of times, like to the point where they had to cut their phone off in a row. Like, I think that was my probably worst reaction. But I always say to myself, like, it was one time, and I don't ever want to get to a place where I'm like begging somebody to love me, because that's essentially what it was, is like begging someone to treat me right. Like, for what?
And I think literally what? To that point, like, that's what one of the things at least I hope that, like, for me, like, as I've gotten more secure in myself and like more secure and clear about what I won't tolerate, like what my own personal boundaries are, I hope that those boundaries keep me protected from like going off the deep end. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you go off the deep end because you violated your bound. You've violated your own personal boundaries and you've allowed someone else to violate them. So you've allowed someone to push you past your limit, and then you respond to that, as opposed to being like, no, this is my limit, and I'm good. And if this relationship is going to have me acting outside of my character or my limits, then it's not a good relationship for me.
1000%. Preach it, girl. Okay, so this has been such a good episode, honestly. I say this every episode.
You do.
At this point, you guys start memeing us.
Take a shot every time. No, joking.
No, seriously, take a shot every time Corinne asks herself the question. Take a shot every time she says, this has been a good episode. Because every single last one is good. Take a shot every time. Take a shot of ginger every time Beth talks about whooping a trick. Take a shot every time Samelia and Corinne say Beth.
That's actually a good one.
And every time we talk about our growth, because I think that would be a really good one. Because we do talk about it. We have grown. We are people who grow every day. But I want to end us with some good breakup advice, because I think you guys give great advice.
My best advice would be to whoop that trick.
Take a shot of ginger.
No, my best advice would be, don't let these people play with your energy. And it might be hard, but you have to have a little bit more self-respect. Walk the fuck away.
Yeah.
Because you are gold. Don't let nobody in here treat you like, no, you're a diamond. Don't let nobody treat you like cubic zirconia.
Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up.
Stand up. Now it sucks. You might cry.
Yeah.
But stand up.
Like, at least kneel. Don't be weak in the knees. Don't be wavering. You know, show how strong you are. Show how strong you have core strength by going into a kneel. By strongly going into a kneel and, letting out your juice. And then when you're done, get back up. Get back up again.
There's a thing like in the laws of attraction, create worth. And how you create worth is if you know that somebody has told you, oh, I don't want a relationship, or I don't know where this is going, da 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 da. Okay, bet. I know where this is going. My ass is going to get on the Eli. And
I don't know where this is going, but I know where I'm going.
Where I'm going. I'm going to leave. Because here's the thing. If you're willing to walk away from somebody, when you create scarcity, it actually creates, it like sends off a chemical in somebody else's brain, or not somebody else's, but like the person you're dealing with brain, that it's like, oh, this person is valuable because they're willing to not put up with my shit and actually walk away. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's not necessarily, and you have to walk away for the right reasons. You can't walk away to make them, to get them. You have to walk away to walk away. You can't walk away to be like, oh, I'm going to get their attention by walking away, because then they know that you're doing this as a game and they see you as weak. But if you walk away and you hold steadfast in that walk away, they will respect you. It may not be that soon, but they will spin the block and apologize. Every last single one of my ex niggas, all you bitches.
Oh my,
Bethy.
No,
we got a ginger.
I'm not editing, so you gotta be better than that. You gotta be quicker than that.
That's fine. It's not supposed to be edited. This is real rap raw. We've said this millions of times.
Yeah, but I feel like we should have some boundaries.
Yeah, totally.
It's all a boundary on my experience.
Anyway, Amelia, what's your best breakup advice? We can talk about this after.
That was great advice, Beth.
That was really good advice. It was really good advice.
Good advice. It really was. I was rocking with you, Mark, until we got to the end. And I was like, whoa.
That's how you know it's someone else's turn. All right, Celia and
oh, wow. Let me gather my thoughts.
Okay.
I mean, I think the best relationship or breakup advice that I can give is to follow your heart, your intuition,
It will lead you
in the right direction. I feel like you have to almost for me, I had to learn how to get better at trusting myself. Yeah. So it's like, if this is not a good situation for me, not staying longer out of fear, not staying longer out of oh, I don't want to be by myself, or if I'm not with this person, then I won't have anyone. I think it's important when it comes to that point and you need to break up with someone, or you're acknowledging within your own self that something's not right, following that following that intuition internally. Like if something feels like it's off, at least take the time to really sit with it and investigate what is feeling off. Like
Right.
um don't ignore the internal signs, because I think sometimes there are like internal red flags that are going off and you're like, what a pretty scarf. You know what I mean? It's like,
you're like, it's a circus. It's a parade.
How festive,
It's the Bay Day parade. Yeah.
So, yeah, respect yourself enough, respect the person, your future self enough to like honor situations when they've ended and like walk away.
1000%. You guys, honestly, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm just going to be repeating you guys, but yeah, I think my best breakup advice is to just, basically honor yourself. And like, it's real, you'll learn boundaries as you keep getting older and as you keep experiencing things. Like advice Amelia gives me all the time is like, when I call her and like something's really upset me and she's like, okay, let this be a learning like experience. Like now, this is what you need to do in the future. And so things can really be a learning experience for you to be better. Like things do repeat. Like stuff does come around again. And so like, I think a perfect example of that is like Beth is saying, like, I mean, it's a weird example, but Beth was saying like, she has experienced this twice of like someone doing this to her. And I think like you are like, just take notes and learn, like see what you can learn from this and take it and be better. So like when something like this happens, you can be better at moving forward. Like I think when you have those boundaries and you are tried in like similar ways that you've been tried, you can be like, actually this time I noticed that this is a pattern that I've experienced before. So for me, no, thank you. And I'm going to honor myself and, walk away. And in a good situation or in a bad situation, it's really about honoring your heart and doing best for yourself. And, I think when you do best for yourself, it will overflow and you can do best for other people.
100%. I fully agree.
Cool. This was fun, you guys. Thank you for listening to another episode of It's an Okay podcast.
Y'all still here? We love it.
No, seriously. Thanks for rocking with us. If y'all still here, y'all are real. Please follow us on the Instagram. We would love to hear from you guys. We like to do little questionnaires and polls and stuff like that. So we'll have one this week about you guys can share like, your breakup experience. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Or any advice that you have for somebody else that might be going through something similar.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, wait, can I ask this? What's your like go-to breakup song?
Ooh.
Love with a stripper.
She ride and she roll.
To be perfectly honest, my go-to breakup song, it has like I'm a Pisces moon, so that's how I deal with my emotions. It's very just like music oriented, and it has my breakup songs typically like it whatever. Because okay, side note. When me and the guy that had the Banshees were dating, he and I actually had a song that was like our song, like when we first started dating. So for the longest time, I could not listen to country music for like over 2 years. I couldn't listen to any country music. And then for the first time in like so many years, I was able to listen to Ellie Goulding's Love Me Like You Do. But I think that my best breakup artist, like right now, is St. John. The albums that I listened to before when I was going through a breakup was Drake's Take Care.
Oh, that's a good album.
Yeah.
What's your go-to breakup song, Amelia?
I take it all the way back to the 90s with Mariah Carey, Breakdown.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's such a good song. I'm like, oh, let the emotions out. Either that or there was Carl Thomas. I know I'm like dating myself now. Like, who? Don't worry, he'll be on TikTok soon. Someone will remix this song.
Listen. I second that.
But like, he had the song called Rebound, and that song will like, especially if you find out that you're like dealing with someone who like was already involved with someone else and didn't tell you. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah. We'll post these songs so you guys can experience them. Yes. What about you, Corey?
I have like whole breakup playlists, so we can post my
like
playlist.
What year do you want?
No, literally, no, actually though. I think right now though, the one that's helped me get over like my like situations are, there's a song by Charlie XCX featuring, oh no, it's by Me featuring Charlie XCX. It's called If It's Over Then It's Over. Which is basically just like, okay, if we say this is over, like let's just end it. Let's not keep like lingering around this situation. If it's over, then it's just over, you know?
Yeah.
I really love that song, and I honestly, we're probably gonna share my playlist because I feel like I have so many other songs and I can't think of them right now, but I definitely want you guys to like, you know, I love sharing music, you know, I love it.
I know, it's your love language. That's one of them. You have a lot.
I do. It's all of them. It's like probably like all of them, but like 2, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, that was my question.
Awesome. I love that question. Well, on that note, we must bid you adieu.
Adieu to you and you and you.
To you. And you and you. Bye, guys.
See you next time.
I'll be there, Zane.
I'll be there. Bye. Ciao.